Yes, a lazy sloth has moseyed off into public to watch the film Scrambled, the movie hardly anyone is ever talking about. Perpetual bridesmaid Nellie Robinson always finds herself between weddings, baby showers, and bad dates. With her biological clock ticking, she decides to freeze her eggs and embark on an empowering journey of self discovery. It is actually written, directed, and stars Leah McKendrick. I'm not really too familiar with her, but I can definitely say is that if she keeps going in the route that she is, I think she might have a very successful career in the movie industry. And one thing about this movie, I have not heard a lot of people talking about it. I watch a lot of movie reviewers, movie review channels and everything, and none of them have covered this movie. And when I looked it up, it only had a 1 week release with 762 theaters. That's really not a lot. So I'm really hoping that this movie gains popularity and that more people go to see it. Start off with some things that I actually really did enjoy about this movie. One, I will say that the main character, Nellie, she is immature, she's very quirky, and very much an adult child. She does not have her stuff together. She's still kind of stuck in the young mindset. But overall, I did not hate this character. There are some characters that they're adult children and they really irk my nerves. But really didn't dislike her. I was actually rooting for her. Even some of the decisions that she was making that I did not agree with, I was still with her. She really did pull me in, and I really went along this journey. I really liked how this film shows how much pressure women are under to find the one, get married, have children. Oh my gosh, like you're 25, you're 30, 35, you're almost 40. You need to have kids. Your biological clock is ticking. It's so much pressure that women are under. Parents, friends, society, heck, the neighbor across the street, yeah, they're looking at you and they're judging you. Why don't you have kids and why aren't you married? It really does show a lot of pressure women are under. Ellie's going through the journey of freezing her eggs. To have that chance to potentially have, the family that she really does want. And I liked how the movie, and I'm trying not to get too much into spoiler territory, so it's kind of a bit spoilerish, but I did like how it shows how hard it is to have children. It's like once you're past the age of 34, you're advanced maternal age, so basically you're old, and we have to extremely monitor you to have kids, miscarriage, or even preventative pregnancy measures, the medications, how much it costs. It can get up to the thousands to have children. And all in all, it shows the emotional roller coaster of women go through choosing to have kids, not have kids, or to try to delay the pregnancy process. I'm not even gonna lie, I really did get teary-eyed in certain scenes. And there's not a lot of movies that really show the emotional impact it takes on a woman or a couple trying to have a child. And I'm really glad that this movie actually really did take that risk. And I commend the movie for that. I very much do. Also, as a side note, everybody talks badly about Nellie's job. She makes jewelry and sells it online, in like an Etsy store kind of way. And I just want to say, Nellie has an apartment. Nellie can afford $70 gifts for baby showers, weddings, and she can afford recreational activities. So I just want to say, kudos to Nellie. I do have to say there are some cons with this film, and I will say that some of the comedy did not land with me. It just seems like it's going to be very dated within a few years. Some of the jokes, they didn't stick with me. Then again, comedy is subjective, so I don't want that to be like a final factor. I also felt that some of the side characters were rushed. They are, the catalyst to important decisions, emotional, situations. They're there for like 2 seconds. And you never see them again. and they never talk about them again. And that is a bit of an issue with me, that you're going to put Nellie on this path, and here's certain characters that really affect her on that path, and yet you see them, boop, here I am, all right, goodbye. Like, it, could have used a little more time with them. Even with some of the side characters, like her parents and her brother, the best friend, I feel like we did not get enough screen time with them. I definitely would have liked more development from some of the side characters. Obviously, the story is about Nellie and it's going to be focused on her, but if you're going to put in these other side characters, I want a little more time with them. You know, get me involved into their stories and how it affects Nellie in the end. That the story does go through some typical tropes, you know, coming of age stories, comedies, and dramas, they have the typical tropes. And it kind of does go down that route. Although I will say, I enjoyed the ending. It did take a bit of a different route, and I'm glad that they did. And I will give the movie kudos for that. Watching this film, I would definitely give it 4 out of 5 stars. Even though some of the side characters were not as fleshed out, and it did go through some typical story tropes, I genuinely did enjoy this movie. I can definitely see this as a film that I put on a Sunday in an oversized t-shirt with a glass of wine and watch this. It's relatable. I don't even think you have to be a woman to relate with this film. But I'm happy that somebody, Leah McKendrick, was able to make this film, because I do feel it is important, especially to break some of those societal pressures on women to find the one and have kids. It may or may not happen that way, and that's okay.